Hi, my name is Nikki Kashtan. This is the Conflict Hotline. What you say next can change the world. I'm in the studio here with Carrie and Itzel, and together we're going to do some role plays today and work with situations that hopefully you will call and give us, such as this scenario between Dad and Shelly. Shelly, how old are you?
I'm 15.
Okay, let's look at what happens when Dad gets the phone bill.
Shelly, the phone bill came today and I can't believe it.
What now, Dad?
3 times higher than your agreed limit.
Why'd you get me a phone if you didn't want me to use it?
If you talk to me like that, you could lose this phone for a month.
Thank you very much. Is this a familiar situation? Have you had struggles with your teenagers? The purpose of this program is to support you in bringing more peace, compassion, understanding, and choice into your life and your relationships with your loved ones and everyone in your life. It's an all-volunteer effort. The cast is affiliated with Bay Area Nonviolent Communication, an organization with a vision of a world where everyone's needs matter and everyone has the skills for making peace. And some of the crew is affiliated with Bay NBC. Some of the crew is affiliated with Berkeley Community Media, which is also hosting this show. If you want to participate, give us a call at 510-433-0700 and we'll play your situation. And you can call with all kinds of conflicts, such as
Family and loved ones.
Or you might have a conflict at work with a boss or a coworker.
or you might have an inner conflict or with friends or anyone in your life or inside of you. Give us a call and we'll work with your situation. And now let's go back to the scenario with Dad and Shelly and see what happens if Dad brings some consciousness and choice into this situation. So let's take it up from the top, and I'll ask you to pause before you respond and see if you might have a different response with bringing more awareness to it. Let's start at the top.
So, Shelly, the phone bill came today. It's 3 times higher than your agreed limit.
Well, why'd you get me a phone if you didn't want me to use it?
Okay, let's pause here. In this moment, whenever somebody speaks to you like this, you can use it as an opportunity for a wake-up call. Because you know this can escalate very rapidly. Don't you, Dad?
Yes.
So let's see if we can do something different. What happens when she says this inside of you?
When she's,
When
it's
she
that
says,
tone of voice.
Is that tone of voice?
It's that tone of voice. It's like, I'm trying to help her. I gave her the phone. I gave her the cell phone because I want her to be safe. I want her to have it in emergencies. And it's just a complete lack of appreciation for how much I care about her.
So what's important to you here is appreciation for your care.
Yes.
Do you want to try to communicate that to her instead of threatening her? Because see, if you can communicate your need to her, she's much more likely to want to connect with you and do what you want.
I can try.
Why don't you try?
So, Shelly, right now I'm just so disappointed when I hear that. I got you the cell phone because I really want you to be safe. I want you to have it in emergencies. And, you know, I'm worried that if the bills are this high that I won't be able to let you keep it.
So you almost went there, but didn't quite. What you communicated to her, and this often happens, the vulnerable part you left out.
Oh, I want to be appreciated.
For the care.
For the care. You know, it's hard for me to hear that because I'd really like to be appreciated for how much I care.
Let's see if the 2 different ways of saying it had a different effect on Shelly. Let me check in with Shelly. Shelly, did you have a different reaction to the 2 expressions?
I did. When my dad said the first one, I thought, I got a little bit defensive actually because he said I could use it for personal stuff too. Mm-hmm. And he was disappointed and everything. But then when he said about the appreciation and care, I get that. I mean, I know I wouldn't have a phone if it weren't for him.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one of these ironies, that opening up our hearts and showing it to the other person is what's most likely to get them to be interested in doing what we want. But it's the first thing that we forget to do. So, having expressed to her that you want appreciation for your care, what is it that you would like from her in this moment?
I would like, well, she's already acknowledged that.
No, she acknowledged that to me. That was
okay.
That was off record.
Off the record. So
Off
I
the
would like
record.
to hear her say that to me, that that she understands that I'm trying to help her and that I care about her and that she's appreciative.
So if we ask somebody to say specific words to us, they're least likely to feel motivated to say it.
Right.
How about if we say something like, okay, so you're saying, you know, I'm going to be you for a second. So what most, I see that what most hurts me is that, you know, I put effort into this and I really want appreciation for the care that went into it. And I'm curious to know, how is it for you to hear this? Is it annoying? Is it opening your heart, or what happens?
No, it's sad to hear you're hurt. I don't want to be part of that.
Yeah. So you see, when I ask her for this, it immediately de-escalated the situation. Whereas telling her what to do or not to do escalates the situation. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to say in this moment? Because otherwise, I'm going to try to do this whole situation again from the other direction.
All right, why don't we try it from the other direction?
Okay. So now I'd like to see, I mean, it's tough to respond differently to your dad because there is a power difference, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, and I don't like it when he's angry like that.
Yeah. You probably want him to know that.
Yeah.
Now, what I see that you do is you're trying to communicate to him that you don't like it, but you communicate it in a way that goes like, don't be angry at me, you know? Like, if you didn't want me to use the phone, don't buy me one.
Right.
I don't think he's going to hear in that you don't like it when he's angry.
Yeah.
He's more likely to hear in that you don't respect him. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Appreciate.
Appreciate.
Yeah.
That you don't appreciate him. That's what he hears. So let's see if there's a different way to express that.
Okay. Okay.
So let's go from the top. And
Okay.
instead of saying the line about, you know, if you didn't want me to use the phone, then don't get me one.
Okay.
It's entertaining, but I don't think it gets you what you want.
Yeah, I knew it would make him mad.
So instead of saying that, see if you can express directly to him what's in your heart.
Okay.
You up for trying?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay, let's see what it looks like.
Okay.
Okay, start from the top with the phone bill.
Okay. Shelley, I got the phone bill. It came today. It's 3 times higher than the agreed upon amount you were going to spend.
You seem pretty mad about that, Dad.
Yeah, we had an agreement.
Yeah, and I feel like you got me this phone so I could use it.
You're not telling him.
Right.
It's same. You see, it's from both sides. It's the same difficulty.
Yeah.
There is something in your heart, and you're saying all kinds of other things instead of what's in your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, can I keep going?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I feel kind of sad and a little scared when I hear you talking like that. You sound angry to me, and so I feel a little scared, and I want to talk with you about it, but right now I'm kind of scared and I'm not sure how to approach you.
Great. I bet this had a different effect. Let's check with Dad.
Okay.
Off the record. Off the record. Dad, did this have a different effect?
Yes, it did.
How did you receive this?
Well, I really got it, the power relationship, that she knows that I could, you know, take the phone away
Yeah.
or do something that she really couldn't prevent me from doing. And so it made me stop and think about
Yeah.
things from her point of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the power of the vulnerability that you can bring into it, is once you express yourself like this, it changes the power relations. If you do the piece that you do, which is, the rebellion piece, the power stays with him.
It doesn't feel like it at first when I do it.
Right, but he can still take the phone away from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you reveal your heart, he's way less likely to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feel me?
Absolutely.
Okay, and now comes the same part. You express this from your heart. What is it that you'd like from him?
Should I talk to him directly or talk to you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I want to talk with you about how I can use the phone and what works for you, because my friends text me a lot, and I don't want to ignore them. That wouldn't be that wouldn't be very nice. And I want to communicate with them, and I know that those cost money, so I'm just not sure how we can work this out so this works for both of us.
So you expressed some more, but you still didn't ask him what you want from him right now. This is one of the most important pieces when we have conflict in a situation with another person, is when we're done expressing, what is it that we want to hear? We usually pay much more attention to what it is that we say than to what it is that we want to hear.
Okay.
So take a moment, see what is it that you'd like to hear from him.
Well, I guess I want to know if you get that I really like talking to my friends and staying in touch this way.
Yeah.
Do you get that?
I get it. I get that probably for some of your friends, the financial part isn't much of an issue, that they
Yeah.
can do this as much as they want.
I mean, I don't even know what the financial part is, but I just know that that's how they talk to me, and so it's important for me to stay.
Okay, so now you have an opportunity, because now he revealed a whole other layer. It's not just about the agreement. I get a sense that he's actually concerned about his ability to pay the bill. Is that true, Dad?
Yeah.
So you can connect with him about that. And then
Yeah.
you're more together. If you just go back to repeating your point, then sooner or later you will lose the sense of connectedness with him,
Right.
because he will once again have a sense that you don't understand him.
Yeah.
So can you express some understanding for his financial considerations?
Yeah.
Or is this too much for you?
Well, it's starting to feel like he's not doing a lot.
You want, you want him to be hearing you too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can say that to him.
Okay.
There is some kind of a balance of where you both attend to yourself and attend to him.
Okay.
He says something, you can say, can acknowledge it, and then ask for what it is that you want to hear.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like you get how important it is for me to communicate with my friends, and it sounds like you're worried about the size of the bill and you don't want to see this every month.
Yeah. And he's worried about it because of his own finances. So I think you're well on your way to forming connection. Doesn't this feel better
Yeah.
than the screaming match that you were half a step away from?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't ever talk like this, and it's really nice.
Yeah. What's nice about it?
I feel like I understand him a little bit better, and that maybe we can work together on some sort of solution to this.
Mm-hmm.
The other way, just taking it away, doesn't
Yeah.
work for me.
Mm-hmm. And what about you? Do you like this one better?
Yes, I do. And it feels more person to person,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel less like I'm wielding power over her,
Yes, and that's
and it's a more comfortable feeling.
wonderful, because one of the things that teenagers are most aching for is a sense of trust in their ability to make choices and having the autonomy to experiment with the world. Yeah? Isn't that what you want?
Definitely.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to take a short break now, and when we come back, we're going to have a scenario we call Snubbed Again.
You cannot can't see eye to eye. Won't you step up with me and try? Drop the fences down, find a common ground, and take a deep breath. I am here to love you. I am here to free you, yeah. Enemy, enemy mine, reveal me, reveal me. We are on our paths, side by side, seekers on a parallel.
Hi, welcome back to the Conflict Hotline. What you say next can change the world. If you would like to be part of this show, please call us at 510-433-0700. And now we have a new scenario. This is Fran, who is a parent, and this is Ms. Davidson, correct?
Correct.
Who is the principal of the school.
Mrs. Davidson, I have a bone to pick with you.
What is it now, Fran?
Out in the hall just now, you said hello to 10 other children's parents and you completely ignored me.
No, Fran, that's not what's going on.
You do this to me over and over again. This is not the first time.
Fran, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm just wondering why I'm not as good as everyone else here. Why I'm not as important as everybody else.
Fran, I see you every day. I don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't see that this is going anywhere that either one of you particularly want to go, is it?
No.
So I have a sense that there is something really important to you in this situation that you'd like to communicate to Ms. Davidson.
Yes.
And do you know what it is? What is it that matters to you?
I would like to be acknowledged. I want to feel that I matter, that I'm as important as everyone else in the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of the things that we find when we practice nonviolent communication is that you make more connection with people when you tell them what you want rather than telling them what you don't like about what they're doing. So let's, do you want to try doing that with Ms. Davidson?
I'll try. So I'm going to begin at the beginning.
Okay.
So, Mrs. Davidson, excuse me, I have something I'd like to talk to you about. Do you have a minute? Is this a good time?
Sure, Fran. What is it?
Okay. Well, I'm a little concerned because there's something in your voice. I could come back later if I just really do want to make sure this is a good time.
I'm really appreciating that you caught this because I heard it too. I would say that I got a sense that she's braced for something already. Is that true?
Yes.
And so I'm appreciating that you caught this, and it really drives home the point that no matter what your original intent is, stay present with what's happening in front of you and respond to that if your goal is to maintain connection. So I'm appreciating that you're doing this, and keep going. Let's see what happens.
So, So I'm wondering, would it be easier for you if I came back at another time, or would you like me to make an appointment with your secretary?
No, it's okay, Fran. It's okay. What's going on?
Well, I have something to talk to you about that concerns me. I'm a little uncomfortable about bringing it up, but I think I could feel a lot more comfortable here at the school if we were able to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm open to hearing what you have to say.
So I have a sense that you calm down.
Yeah.
So there is a way, again, that just revealing what's in your heart is really bringing more peace. So she's more ready to hear you now. Taking that extra second, I think, was worth it.
Okay.
Now comes the hard part, yes?
Yes. When we were out in the hall a few minutes ago, I was really wanting and hoping that you would turn to me and greet me and say hello. I was really, really longing for that this morning. I just so much wanted to be included in that welcome. And I'm wondering if there's some, if there's something going on between us, if there's something going on between us that I should know about that makes it hard for that to happen.
Thank you.
Well, that's interesting. You should bring it up. There are some, I hear what you're saying, and I'm saddened to hear that you weren't feeling like part of the group. You weren't feeling included, and that does also bring up something that I've been concerned about, that I've been seeing in the school as well. So now that you're here, I'm wondering if you're open to discussing it.
So I want to pause for a second and see, when you came in the first way, you didn't acknowledge me, you don't include me, all of that. All that you got from Ms. Davidson is, no, that's not true. When you are opening it up and expressing what you want and inviting her to say what's true for her, then she comes forward and starts expressing. So you have more dialogue, more connection going on already. Do you feel that?
Yes.
So you're open to discussing it then?
Yes, I really would like to know, because I'd like to have a nice, easy connection with you.
Okay, well, I'm really concerned about the amount of time that you're spending here at the school, and I'm not sure that it's really that helpful for how I'm running my classes here.
So it sounds like you're really concerned about kind of the integrity of the classes, and you really want what's best for the children.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
So I just want to notice that you had an opportunity here to get angry, and you sidestepped it by staying focused on understanding Ms. Davidson.
Yeah.
Was that hard to do?
it was not as hard as it might,
Yeah,
it's-
because you were already in the flow of connection.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling like she's another human being, not an enemy.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It is those things. It is those things. And also, I find that your presence can be distracting to the kids.
So really wanting the kids to be able to be focused and wanting an environment where it's easy for them to stay focused so they can learn and the teachers feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm torn because I really want those things too. I definitely want that for my child, for all the children. At the same time, I really enjoy coming to the school, and I enjoy being around, and would like to find a way to contribute, to figure out a way that's productive to be here.
So once again, just saying it without saying what you want back from her is not going to continue the dialogue. She is likely to get overwhelmed by this and not know what to say. Is something like this going on?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm still thinking, I'm not sure how this is solving anything.
Yeah. So what is it that you'd like from her next, right now? Having said that you want to participate, you want to come, you want to be involved,
Okay.
what would you like from her?
Well, I think what might help me is either some examples of the things that seem to be problems so that I can know not to do them again, or give them some thought and have a better understanding of what you're talking about. And also some examples of ways that you think it would be good for me to be here and things that I could do that would be helpful, or you could refer me to someone on the staff who could help me with that.
Yeah, I'm willing to discuss some solutions with you. First of all, I would say that coming by unannounced during classes is, I find, very disruptive to the classrooms, and I would really rather you didn't do that unannounced.
Okay, so now we're really cooking. Now we're really in a place of where we're looking at the specifics, but we're looking at it together. There's no attack, no blame, no defense, right?
Right.
You are working together because, after all, I can imagine that having energy that supports the school, if it was channeled, would be something helpful for you.
Absolutely. We could use all the help we can get.
Yeah, just not that kind of help.
Right, exactly, exactly.
Okay, so I want to turn it around for a moment, but before doing that, is there anything else that you want to say before we switch and have her try stretching her wings into skillfulness?
No, I think I'm okay. We
Okay.
can switch.
So we start from the top. Again, this time you're coming and you're saying the same thing that you said, and you're going to practice seeing if you can bring some skill and consciousness into the situation and see if you can subvert the conflict in that way. Because one of the things that we're trying to show in this program is that there isn't any one side that can transform a conflict. Either side to a conflict can transform it by bringing consciousness and choice and skill into the situation.
Great, okay.
Are you ready to do that?
I'm ready to give it a shot.
Great. So you start.
So, Mrs. Davidson, I have a bone to pick with you. Just
Okay.
now, we were out in the hall, and you said hello to 10 other parents, and you said absolutely nothing to me.
So I definitely am sensing that you're pretty frustrated right now, and I'd like to invite you to come into my office and sit down, and maybe if you have a few minutes, we can talk.
I would very much like to talk.
Did that give you some sense of peace and calm? in
Yes.
just hearing that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because part of it is I want to know that I matter, and so if she's willing to talk to me and inviting me in her office, already I'm thinking, okay,
Yeah.
I matter a little.
So
A
should we-
little goes a long way, yeah.
Yeah. So you felt that I was intentionally ignoring you out in the hallway. It sounds like.
Yeah, that's exactly how it seemed to me.
And I want to tell you there was something happening. There was something going on there for me. It wasn't that I was intentionally ignoring you, though. So I am saddened to hear that was your experience. But what is happening for me is that I'm finding that you're coming to the school so frequently that it is a bit of a disruption. And I'm wondering if you're willing to hear a little bit about what's going on for me with that.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Did that sound like a real okay to you?
No, I was going to ask something, but I wasn't sure what.
Okay, so here is the deal. You have a difficult message to deliver.
Yes.
And usually what happens when we have a difficult message to deliver is we kind of like brace for it, and then it's harder to remember the sensitivity of the other person. And that's what I imagine happened now. It's like, okay, good, I'm saying it. I'm going to sit here like this, and I'm
get
going
it
to, exactly, get it out. I'm going to ignore the fact that she clearly is telling me that she's not sure she's ready. I'm just going to say it because she said yes.
Right. Okay. Okay. So.
So slow down.
Okay.
The harder the message, the more difficult the message, the more important it is to have a foundation of connection and trust to lubricate it so that the message can be received. Because the point is not to put the words out. The point is to be heard. And I think a little more connection is significant here for increasing the possibility that you'll be heard. So if you sensed a little bit less than real okay, check it out.
Okay. Okay. So I'm really appreciating that you said yes and you're willing to talk about it. And I also just want to check with you that you're doing okay, because I know that this can be, I know I feel uncomfortable talking about this with you, and I'm wondering how it was for you to hear me.
Okay, that's great. I'm really, really happy with this change. It's telling us that you are really working on the connection. And I want to bring this to a close. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll have different people, and we have a phone call. A real caller afterwards. But before we take the break, is there anything you want to say about this, what you got from this?
Well, I really appreciated the lesson of just being very authentic, even when particularly when something is scary or upsetting somehow, just telling the other person.
For me, the best moment was when you said, I am uncomfortable talking about this. I bet in that moment there was some sense of mutual humanity for you. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think part of what was really interesting for me is in both scenarios, there was a sense of it was okay that you didn't have it all together.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Yeah, thank you very much. So we're going to take a quick break now. Thank you, Itzel. Thank you, Carrie. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Taking what little was given us and turning heaven from hell. Together we can turn heaven from hell. Together we can turn heaven from hell. Together we can turn heaven from hell. You are here to love me. You are here to heal me, yeah. Enemy, enemy mine, reveal yourself, reveal your true self. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Hi, welcome back to the Conflict Hotline. What you say next can change the world. And this is a call-in program, and we indeed have a caller, Betsy from New Jersey. Hi, Betsy, are you on the line?
I'm on the line.
Hi, Betsy.
Hi, Nikki.
How can we help you?
Hi. Well, my conflict is that last week, my husband, well, actually, maybe just a couple weeks ago, my husband had mentioned, we were going to have some of his relatives from Italy come visit and towards the end of the month, and he hadn't specified the dates, but last weekend he said, guess what, they're coming on Tuesday, and they're staying for a couple of days till Thursday, and that was it. So I didn't know what was up or if he was taking off or what. Well, it turns out they were going to come Tuesday afternoon. He was only going to be able to take the day off on Wednesday, and then I was maybe going to have to take them to the airport on Thursday. But, the problem is that they don't speak a word of English, and I don't speak any Italian. And him taking one day off definitely was not enough, because we have 3 kids together, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 10-month-old baby, 2 of which were sick, and I had to take care of more than usual. So it just posed a big conflict for me, because he hadn't really communicated, or he claims he didn't even know how. They ended up staying until Friday, and he claims he didn't really know that ahead of time that they're going to stay so long.
Okay.
And,
So Betsy, I just want to see if I'm grasping the essence of this. Is just being put in a situation where there's a lot for you to take care of in a context that is very difficult for you, and without support and without really having a say in the matter. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Is there any other aspect to it that you want us to focus on?
I think that's the main. There's the main issues, right?
Okay.
I just felt very overwhelmed, very trapped. I couldn't. I had to entertain these people. I had to take them all around New York City to see everything, and it was just a lot for me to have to do. And
okay, so do you want to take it up now after it's already happened? You want to talk to your husband about this, or do you want to rewind to an earlier time and see if you can try to get a different outcome? Which way would you like us to play it?
Well, I would like to rewind and to get a different outcome because I feel like I kept asking him again and again and again, how did I get in this situation? How did I, the mother of 3 young children, inherit these very lovely people? But I had no idea what they were talking about, and
Yeah.
it was just, out of all the relatives here in the States to entertain them, why did I?
Okay, so
I have to be the one.
Okay, so here is the crux of the issue that you asked him to take more days off and he said no and you didn't know how to persist with that?
Yes, part of it. I mean, he had said he can only take 1 day off, which I did understand that, but there is this mystery of, what exactly were they planning to do, and who dictated that they were going to stay at our house for so many days when only 1 day could be spent really, going to see New York City because.
So here's the I'm not sure that I understand everything, but I want to shift the energy to doing a role play with something. Part of the difficulty is that we don't always have a way to create the outcome that we want. Sometimes all we can do is have the connection about it. If he really couldn't take more days off, then he really couldn't take more days off.
Right.
We're gonna,
I believe that, right.
Yeah. So then it's more that you want some understanding and empathy and support more so than magic.
Right.
Yeah?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So let's see what that could look like, and stay on the line, and we'll come back to you and check with you to see if this is even remotely realistic. And now I'm going to turn to the people here with me. Welcome, Francois, and welcome, Sigal. Sigal, you're going to be Betsy. Do you want to give your husband a name?
Eric?
Eric. You're Eric.
Okay.
So let's just do a couple of back and forths, and then check in with Betsy to see if it's remotely in the ballpark, and then we'll run with it.
Okay.
Hey, Betsy, by the way, our friends from Italy, they're going to arrive Tuesday. They'll stay until Thursday, and I'll take 1 day off, but they'll be there. They'll stay at our place.
I know you're reminding me of this, and we're not. I can't do anything with them Thursday. I have all these 3 kids, and they're sick, and we had this doctor's appointment.
What do you mean you can't do anything? It's like when we went to their place in Italy, they brought us all over the place. They
I
found
know,
a
but
way.
I just don't understand. I told you I couldn't take this time.
Thank you. Does this remotely resemble it?
Completely.
Okay, thank you. So now let's see. Okay, so one more question that I have for you is, do you want to start with what you could do in the situation, or do you want to start with just the wishful thinking of what if Eric could respond differently? Which way would you like to go?
What I could do.
Okay, great. So, Betsy, are you ready to try?
I'm ready.
Okay, start at the top.
Oh, Betsy, by the way, our friends from Italy, they're going to arrive Tuesday and stay until Thursday. They changed the plan a little bit, but they're arriving, and I'll take 1 day off, and it's all going to be fine.
I know, but you're not going to take the second day off, right?
Well, you know, it's virtually impossible. Like, we're in the middle of this big project.
Stop. I can't take on anything else right now. I'm just.
Okay.
I'm totally overwhelmed.
So you're taking time for yourself first, for self-connection,
Yeah.
which is really, really, really important. In the moment of conflict, when we are triggered, we need to create some space inside first to be able to respond differently. Otherwise, we will respond with a habit. And I see that you're just starting to create that space
Yeah.
inside. So do you want
I
to...
knew that if he said anything else, I was going to yell.
Yeah. So you wanted to first stop. Sometimes all you need to do is to just get a situation to stop so you can buy yourself some time for self-connection. Now, Betsy, I'd like you to stay quiet if possible while we're doing the role play, and then I'll come back to you afterwards, okay?
Sure.
Thanks. So what happens inside of you as you look into this?
I'm so frustrated. I don't understand how we got into the situation. And so it's just total frustration because I just see myself having to take this day and be totally crazy and not enjoy it at all,
Okay.
and not be able to get my other things done.
Okay, so now take a breath and see if you can connect with what's under that. What's really important to you?
What's really important to me is that he have some kind of sense of all the stuff that I'm holding.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, he didn't even. It's like he told me. It wasn't like he asked me and we could come up with some other options, or it just felt like I didn't have any buy-in to this.
Okay,
It
so
felt like it's being put on me.
okay, so we turn it around into what's the need? What is it that you want?
I want consideration and a sense of teamwork and partnership.
Great. Is this clear enough inside of you that you can communicate
Yeah.
it to him?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
So I hear you reminding me about these relatives coming, and
Yeah.
I'm just so sad because things like this could be really fun if you and I shared them and sort of had some teamwork around them. But as it is now, I'm really overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I have to take care of on Thursday. I don't know. I want to know something, but I don't know what exactly I want to know.
So this, before you respond, this is really critical. I said this earlier in the show. I want to say it again. We put much more energy into figuring out what it is that we want to say than into figuring out what it is that we want to hear. So take another extra moment. So you know, and what you want to hear, what you want to focus on is not how to fix the situation, but what will contribute to the next micro bit of connection between you. Because the more you focus on connection now, connection now, connection now, the more you start walking together.
I want to know if you understand my vision, like my vision of us, like things are going to happen, it's going to be tough, but I want to know that you get that it could be so much more fun if it was more of a sense of doing it together.
It seems to me we're doing it together. I'm not clear. It seems that it's not working for you. I get that, and I would like to help, but that thing about not working together just doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm clear that I want to know something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you asked for something, you got a response, but you got valuable information in this response. You're actually inhabiting different realities. Of course there's going to be a gap. If you're inhabiting different realities, yeah.
Yeah. So now I want to know if you understand the amount of stress that I get thinking about Thursday and having the two sick kids and having these people that I have to entertain who I can't even speak to.
Well, okay. I mean, I'll take it. Okay, yeah, I get it. That Thursday, it's stressful for you, but I'll take a day off, and we'll find a way. We'll hire babysitters. We'll find some, like we always do. No.
So here's what I'm getting. He's not getting it.
No.
He's not getting it. But there comes a point where trying to get somebody to get something. Mm-hmm. is not an effective strategy. Mm-hmm. Even though I know the temptation is, okay, he doesn't get it, I will explain it one more way, one more time, and then he'll get it. Mm-hmm. But I have a sense that if you can give him a little bit of space for his perspective to be understood, then he will have more space for you.
Okay. So, to you, it sounds like we are working together, and it's not really that big of a deal, and we'll work it out. Like you have a lot of trust that it'll work out.
I mean,
okay.
we talked about it before. You knew they were coming. They're coming earlier, but it was really hard. I found a way to have a day off for myself, so I'll do most of what I can. So it's mostly Thursday, and like I said, we can find a way.
So to you, it didn't seem like a big deal because it was just one day that it was just going to be with.
Well, yeah, I think we can deal with that, especially with what they did to us when we went there. I mean, they found a way, so I'd like to do the same for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm curious, what happens inside of you as you hear from him?
Well, when I hear from him and sort of say back to him what I'm hearing, I forget my own stuff. It's like I do a little transfer where I'm kind of just listening and like, oh yeah, right, that's that perspective.
Yeah, and so it's important when we listen to another person that we don't forget ourselves.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it will come back to bite us later in the form of resentment. That no matter how much you hear another person, that you still make room for your perspective, and then now that he's heard, find a way to say it so that you can both hear each other. That's when you really work together.
So it sounds like you really wanted to show them the same hospitality that they showed us.
Yeah, it's very important to me.
And that you have some trust that we can figure out what to do on Thursday, and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. And I don't want to let you with all the problems. Like I said, I have this big day off, and I'll organize things. And if you want a babysitter, we'll make it work. Or what about a translator, whatever.
I mean, I have to say it makes a difference to hear you say that. Just to hear you being positive and not thinking that it's a big deal actually does shift me somewhat. And at the same time, I'm nervous. I'm still nervous about taking care of the kids and not being able to talk to these people and taking the whole day.
I am already hearing that you are sensing more of a sense of togetherness. The way
Yeah.
you're sharing this sense of being nervous now
Yeah,
feels more connected
yeah.
rather than adversarial. And I bet you sense that too.
Yeah, and I'm about to say something.
What are you about to say?
Well, you know, it's been often times when I think I let you down. Where I left you with the kids, and I want you to know that I learned, and this time I wish they would come a bit later. We would have a bit more time to prepare, but they're arriving, and like I said, I have this day off now. I'll do really my best, because I want that to be fun and easy for you as well.
Thank you. I want to check back in with Betsy. Betsy, are you still on the line?
I am.
Any comments that you have about this?
I think that they did a great job role-playing. I think she sounds exactly like me. It's like the same way of thinking. I mean, you know, it's you know, it is so important to really, you know, be positive, to try to look for, you know, to try to connect, and you know, give him a little space, a chance to, you know, resolve it, rather than just being adversarial.
Great.
You know,
Do you have more of a sense of empowerment that you might know better what to do in a situation like this when it arises?
yes, definitely, definitely.
And
I wish I had spoken to you guys last week.
And I also want to say that it's never too late to reconnect. You can go back to your husband and express to him what happened, what you saw, what you've learned, and then you're much more likely to get the connection that you want.
Yeah, you're right. No, absolutely.
Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for this scenario. We really enjoyed it.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, we have only a few minutes left before the end of the show. So we probably are not going to be able to get very deep into the next situation, but let's give it a try. This is an inner conflict that we call it just one more chapter. And this is Robert. And Robert has two voices. One of them is called Read More, and one of them is called Sleep Now. I'm sure many of you will recognize yourselves in this situation.
All right, it's 11. It's time to close the book and go to sleep, just like we agreed.
There's one more chapter. It's 10 pages and it's done.
No way. If you read one more chapter now, then you're going to read another chapter, and that's exactly what happened last night and the night before.
Okay. Look, that's the first thing that I do today that I like.
Thank you. Thank you. This happens inside of Robert's head. We all have these things, these inner fights that go nowhere. Go nowhere. Because somebody wins, both of you lose. So let's see if, would you like to try to interact differently with Sleep Now?
Sure, sure.
After all, Sleep Now is inside of you. Sleep
Yeah.
Now has needs of yours that Sleep Now is holding.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can find them and maybe expand the reach of what lives inside of you. Okay.
Okay, that's it. 11 o'clock. Time for sleep.
Okay, so I'm just a little distracted. I was engaged, but what I'm getting is you want to support our self-care.
Yeah, I don't want us to be cranky tomorrow. I want to make sure we're on top of it. Tomorrow's going to be so much better if we get enough sleep.
Yeah, and you also want to honor some agreements we had about.
Oh, yeah,
about
to
about
know that we
time.
can have some discipline.
Yeah, there's something else you'd like me to hear.
No, I think you got it.
Okay.
Just
yeah.
taking care of ourselves, being disciplined.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, not so much what you're going to say back, but how do you feel inside having heard this and having connected with the underlying needs?
Well, for me, there's really a sense of wholeness. It's like just not that piece, not just that piece, not just the other piece, but engaging. So that's very, very pleasant. And I'm already strategizing what I could do. But like I said, there's really a sense of wholeness. It's very satisfying.
So is there anything you'd like to express to Sleep Now?
So today was a difficult day. I didn't have spaciousness for myself, and that's another of our agreements, that I would do things that are fun for me. And the dishes was longer, so I'm running a bit after the time. So I would like to read a few pages, but what I'm thinking is that won't finish the chapter, and just a few pages, and I'll read more tomorrow. I'm curious if that would work for you.
Yeah, I mean,
So I have a sense that I know why Sleep Now is not so satisfied. It's not because you're saying that you're going to read a few more pages. It's because you jumped to solution too fast. Instead of just staying at the level of just connecting. You jumped to a solution before you were sure that Sleep Now really heard from you, read more, about what's important to you. Because once both parties hear from each other, then you can work on solution together. Otherwise, the solution is going to feel like it's shoved down his throat.
Okay.
Is that what happened? That the solution felt?
some of both.
Some of both.
Yeah. I was a little uncomfortable around going there already, but I was imagining to bridge back to connection, but I'm grateful for the clarity here. So I could say something like, would you just tell me what you understood of what I shared? So I have a possibility of being heard.
Yeah, and that pulls him in.
Yeah.
That pulls him in instead of the solution that can repolarize.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to hear if you have any comments about, I know this little role play was just so quick, we just dipped into it, but is there any insight for you from this?
For me, it's just how much I calmed down as this voice when he gave me the space to just talk about what's beautiful behind this voice, because otherwise I'm just aggressive and angry, and you don't like that, and I don't like that. And
Yeah. And for you?
For me, it's this very short moment where I was about to say, okay, let me go, and okay, let's engage. So the importance of this choice point to connect instead of going to the regular way of just wanting it to go my way.
Yeah, and let's kind of like take a step back and what is it that stands out to you from any of the things that we learned during this show today? Parts that you played in or parts that you observed before?
the one thing that I saw earlier was when you said to not be so focused on the conversation that we're about to have, that we forget to pay attention to what's going on to the other person. There's a few times in the earlier role plays where people stopped and checked in, like, is this really okay? And that was really, that was informative for me to remember, like, oh yeah, right. It might not be okay.
Yeah. Anything for you?
For me, something that stood out was this sentence when you said it's important to have a solid foundation of connection because that lubricates what will come next. I was so that might for beauty. Thank you, and it also helped me to anchor that concept how important it is to have the foundation of connection before saying a hard-to-hear message.
Yeah, and for me, a big part is like seeing repeatedly how hard it is to remember to make a request to keep the connection going in the moment. Yeah. So thank you very much. And I want to express big gratitude to Betsy from New Jersey, who called and gave us a real live scenario that we could work with. And if you like what you saw here today and you want to learn more about how you can embody this consciousness and learn the tools and the practice that support it, you can call our office at 510-433-0700, or you can go visit our website, baynvc.org. And we also welcome feedback. We really enjoy it when people tell us whether or not you like the show and what you liked. You can also send us scenarios. Both of these you can do via email at conflicthotline@baynvc.org. And I also want to express gratitude to Sigal and Francois and Itzel and Carrie, who are no longer here. And also immense gratitude to the all-volunteer crew for supporting us in keeping this show going. And would like to invite you to come back next month and every month on the first Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Thank you.
I take a deep, dark breath of my fear. Breathe out compassion to myself. I take a deep, dark breath of your fear. Breathe out compassion to you. And the next breath is for all the people who can relate to me and you. You cannot see eye to eye. Won't you step up with me and try? Drop the fences down, find the common ground and take a deep breath.